G'day fellow moto vloggers, Ben and Ev on Samulki, the Suzuki Bandit, on this Friday afternoon. Very pleasant, 25 degrees, very pleasant, not hot, not cold. Be a bit warmer when I get up in the higher range in the hills. What would I like to talk about at the moment? Well, wouldn't you know it, people, there's an election coming up, isn't there, in this state? And guess what? They're starting to lift restrictions all of a sudden. They've been bastards to small business all through the pandemic, but now there's an election coming up. The mongrels are starting to lift the restrictions because they know it's going to hurt them at the polls and in the next election. These greedy right-wing liberals in this state, not only in this state but in the federal, because there's a federal election this year as well. And you watch all the promises coming out then. They'll brag about unemployment being down and all that sort of thing. And the reason the unemployment's down, folks, it's got nothing to do with those right-wing mongrels in Canberra. It's got everything to do with the pandemic and not allowing people from overseas to take our jobs. That's why the unemployment is down. They won't say that. And then you've got the underemployment, which is absolutely rife in this country, where people can't get enough hours to earn a decent living. Then on top of that, you have inflation. The Liberals will say, no, the inflation's pretty good, there's no inflation. Well, I'll tell you something. I do the shopping. I've been doing shopping, grocery shopping, for the past bloody 20 years or whatever it is, or more. And I've seen the prices and that going up and down and all this sort of garbage. At the moment, I've never seen it worse than it is at the moment. Never. One of the big things that are hitting us here in this country is the price of fuel. The price of fuel, you might think, well, that's not so bad, but you've got to realise that our wages are shit here in Australia for most people. The price of fuel at the moment is $1.90 a litre. So if it was $2 a litre, it would cost me at 19 litres to fill this bike up. It would cost me $38 to fill this tank up on my bike. That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. And of course, all we're getting on TV at the moment, in the news and in every other media, is the bloody liberal faces on the TV all the time. Scott Morrison and our rotten Cheshire cat Stephen Marshall, who's a big failure in himself. That's all we're getting. The opposition get nothing. They get maybe 10 seconds on a particular story, and that's it. That's all they get. And to be quite honest, I'm sick and tired of seeing that backstabbing bastard in Canberra on the news, and this bankrupted premier of ours that couldn't run a business and went bankrupt trying to run a bloody state. Got no idea. And I just hope that they get voted out and get rid of these bloody greedy liberal bastards. So, yeah, All of a sudden, all these restrictions are going to be lifted. They're announcing this, they're announcing that, but nothing for the poor. Absolutely nothing for the poor. Absolutely nothing for pensioners and that. I'll give you an example of something going up. I went to to our Aldi, a lot of stores all over the world, Aldi, and they have this little packet of steak in a vacuum type thing, and I used to pay $5. It's not a huge bit of steak, it's not thick, it's not huge, but because I'm diabetic, I don't eat a lot, and they must have thought I was trying to go faster, and it used to be $5, and now I go in there and it's got a $6 sticker on it already, so it's gone up $1 within a couple of weeks. And of course they're going to blame the pandemic and all this, but I'll bet you any money you like, when the pandemic's over, it's not going to go down, they're going to keep that price up. So I'm real wild, and honestly, we need to get rid of this damn government here, and we need to get rid of the government in Canberra. They've had their time. It's time for a change and give someone else a go, because they can't handle the economy. They say they can, the Liberals, but they can't. They just can't. They always hand over the reins when everything's in the shit to Labor. It happened in the First World War, it happened in the Second World War, it happened in the Vietnam War, and all other wars since. Every time there's something like that, the shit hits the fan, the Liberals don't want to know about it, and they get ousted because they don't want to be in whilst there's bad times, because then they can have a go at the Labor Party saying that they did it and all this sort of shit. The global finance situation that happened a while back when the Labor Party actually gave money to the poor to buy something to keep us out of the global financial situation. The Liberals bagged it and bagged it and bagged it, and look now, they've had the pandemic and they did exactly the same sort of thing, but they haven't done it as much for the poor as they did for the bloody rich. The rich have made a lot of money out of this pandemic. They've actually made more billions than what they ever did in the past 2 years. So you tell me that the Liberal Party is the best party for this country. It is not. Well, I've had my rant, folks, and I hope you vote the bastards out. This is Bandit Nev on, oh, he's a bit quick there in his t-shirt. A lot of protection there. We're talking about that today, actually. Coming off of bikes with no protection. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So this is Bandit Nev on Samoki, the Suzuki Bandit, bidding you, well, what do I normally say? Bidding you very, very, very safe riding. And until next time, which might be a while, let's see, $1.89.9, $1.90 a litre, which might be a while because we're coming into a heat wave, so to speak, for the next few days, for the not too distant future. Hopefully it will get cooler, but I know it's been hot in Perth. But until next time, cheers for now.